I have absolutely no idea what we're going to talk about this morning.
No.
No.
You're not allowed to do that. No. Morning!
Oh, Jesus, Mary Mother of God. Morning, welcome to the show. The show is called...
Sunday Chat!
That's right, Paul. Well done.
Can I go now?
It feels terribly early. It's not...
It's grey.
What time is it?
About 9.
It's about 9 o'clock. I don't feel fully awake yet.
Do you ever feel fully awake these days?
Not really.
so it makes no difference.
No, I live in a twilight world.
Yeah, I think you do. Not twilight as in pointy teeth. No. Not that type of world.
Morning, welcome to the show, whatever, whoever, 2 other people, and
newbies.
Let's do a rousing chorus of My Old Man Said Follow the Van.
Oh, I used to love that
going
song.
For the morning, shall we?
That was a lovely song, wasn't it?
A lovely song. It's not a lovely song, Paul.
Isn't it?
It's a song about a woman losing her way because she goes for a drink.
Oh dear, well, yeah, women shouldn't drink. I mean, they should know their place, which is in the kitchen, obviously, and childbearing. I mean, you know,
everybody knows that.
Absolutely. There's no other reason for women to exist other than that.
They're moving house because they're doing a moonlight flit.
Oh, right.
Because they can't afford to pay the rent.
Right.
And, you know, they're doing a moonlight flit. And the husband says to her, you know, sorry, love, but there's no room for you in the van, in the cart, whatever. You're going to have to follow behind with the bird.
I never knew that.
And what happens is, en route, she sees the pubs open, thinks, I'll go for a quick drink in the pub. And, of course, the husband carries on, and she doesn't know where she's going.
She loses her way.
Yeah, it's actually quite a sad song.
Well, clearly, yeah. Well, that's brought everything down.
And actually, it was a social comment of the time.
Well, there we are.
You know?
There we are. Did they play it with a ukulele?
I don't know. I don't know, Paul.
Oh,
anyway,
well, there we are.
Let's move on.
That could be a new segment of the show, couldn't it? It could be sort of looking back at older songs and looking at the true meaning behind them.
Old thingy, what were they called?
Nursery rhymes.
No, was there a nursery rhyme?
No,
it was an old, you know, what do they call it? Vaudeville type.
Standard.
Dance hall.
Standard.
Music hall. It was a music hall song. Oh, sorry. Poor. It was a music hall song, wasn't it? One of those, you know.
Don't dilly-dally on the way.
Yeah,
that's right,
I do know it. Shall I sing it?
No.
Why not?
Because we'll be banned from YouTube forever.
We can't have copyright on that.
Well,
surely
85 years.
75 years
75
copyright,
years,
isn't it?
It may have been copywritten.
Yeah.
You never know nowadays, do you?
You never know.
Yes, there's another one.
Okay.
Who sang that one?
I don't know,
was
care,
it Sacha
whatever.
Distel?
Well, he was French, wasn't he?
Well, you'll never know.
And I don't
like
remember
that.
it sounding like that.
No, I don't
What did
think so.
Sacha Distel sing?
He sang songs.
No, but what was the one that he was famous for?
Oh, I don't know.
No, that was Demis Roussos, Forever
Matt
and
Monro. Oh, I like a bit of Matt Monro every now and again. Dad liked Matt Monro.
Do you?
We had Matt Monro at Dad's funeral. Do you remember? Yeah, we did.
No, I don't remember.
Monro. Yeah, and what's the one? Oh, I've forgotten. Sammy Davis Jr. Dad liked Sammy Davis Jr. as well. Not the comedy bit, but the his singing. Yeah. Don't know why we got onto that.
Well, I was still trying to think of what Sacha Distel sang that he was famous for.
Alexa, what did Sacha Distel sing?
I know about 524 songs by Sasha Distel, including La Belle Vie, L'Ensin Rio, Adios Amigo, and Toute la pluie tombe sur moi.
So there we are. Adios, amigos.
No.
So is that the end of the
Doesn't
show?
ring any bells. He didn't do that.
No, he didn't.
Uma Paloma Blanca.
I
did
don't
he?
know. I don't know.
What's that? I'm just a bird in the sky or something. No, he didn't do that, did he? No, I don't know. Paul, stop now.
Well, you're the one trying to remember it.
I'm feeling really attacked right now.
Well, there we are. There we are. Weather.
Welcome, bloody welcome, first of all, Paul. I think you're fine.
Oh, right, okay.
That's what we start with. Welcome, bloody welcome. Thank you
But
so
that
much.
was about half an hour ago.
Thanks for tuning in.
I've
I
tuned
know
out now.
if you're new, you've probably given up.
Yeah.
I thought, what the hell is going on?
I feel
don't
as though
care.
we have. Yeah. There we are.
gave up a long time ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, welcome. Thank you for joining us on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Planet Vegetaria, our Facebook group Original Boards 2017. That's actually contractual.
Are we on TikTok?
No, I'm not on TikTok. I'm not going
So-
to do a dance on TikTok. Who
But
gives
you
a damn?
You just said we're on all platforms. So
Did I
actually,
say all?
yeah, you did.
Some. I meant some.
Yeah, we're not on TikTok.
No, I might go on TikTok. Then I might do.
Might you?
I might.
Oh dear, honestly, here we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
I could do. My old man says follow the van.
You could do.
On TikTok.
You could. Now that I would watch.
Give us a thumbs up if that's what you want.
I've been watching these, some of these things that you do.
Reels.
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 What's a reel?
It's a furrow.
Yeah, well, it's not a reel, is it?
I don't know.
Reel. REELS. Reels.
Reels. Oh, as in film reels. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So I've been watching some of these on
Instagram.
YouTube.
Oh,
and
shorts. They're shorts on
shorts.
YouTube.
So they are and it's amazing how much crap there is.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you could spend hours
Yeah.
just looking at
Just scrolling.
pointless crap. Which, of course, some people think we are as well.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah.
whatever, move on,
Wouldn't
because
necessarily
actually you're
disagree.
becoming
Yeah.
pointless.
Pointless!
Pointless.
Yeah, pointless.
With Richard and Paul.
I think that would make a really good name for a programme, Pointless.
Yeah, quiz show maybe.
Yeah.
So, weather. It's grey and cold this morning, and we're meant to be having a bloody heat wave.
We are.
Where's that then?
I don't know. I mean, they did say that this could be one of the coldest Mays in decades.
But now they're saying it could be one of the hottest Mays.
Are they? I haven't seen that.
I have.
I don't think it will
Heat
be.
wave to strike the UK.
No, but that doesn't mean it's the hottest, does it? It means there might be a heat wave. But the amount of coldness that we've had in May so far could pull the average right down to actually being the
Apparently
coldest.
there's going to be a big hot plume
Well, yeah.
this weekend.
I
and
haven't seen a big hot plume for ages.
No, neither have I.
No.
Oh, thank goodness. What was I saying?
Weather this weekend.
So I think they were saying high humidity with a chance of a thunderstorm.
That was a song from Fame, wasn't it? High humidity.
No, that's high fidelity.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it. So I've got my cashmere hand warmers on. Yes, my new cashmere hand warmers that I made myself from Paul's old jumper that he no longer wanted. Did you?
Well, I don't have a choice, really.
They're not finished yet. I need to adjust them a little bit, but not bad really for homemade. Beats paying £35 for a new pair, doesn't it really?
How did Lady Tittington Smythe's knitting of hers go? Do you know?
I believe they went really well.
Oh, there
I
we
believe
are.
she's wearing them.
Oh, fabulous.
Mhm.
Fabulous.
So-
I look forward to receiving a pair in our next visit to
Paul,
Wales.
Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, right, okay.
Chance of storms. Yes, so obviously if there is a thunderstorm, I will be looking out for it and capturing it.
Did you see that person who fell out of, that was on a reel, taking a photograph of the thunderstorm, they fell out of a window,
No.
but it carried
Didn't see
on
that
filming. I thought that was quite funny.
You see, there are some fun things
Yeah,
to be
that's
had.
1 in a million. Yeah.
But this is the thing. Those kind of reels, those kind of short films gain a lot of attention, and people know this. So they're literally just doing it for attention.
Right, okay.
You know, that's what's wrong with the world at the moment. People trying to get more and more attention, more and more likes, more and more views, rather than just doing things for the pure pleasure. I mean, the reels that I do of our walks are for pure pleasure, to bring a pleasurable view. You know, I don't actually really care how many people watch them, although some of them do really well, and that's lovely. But these youngsters doing pranks and strange things, trying to throw a marble into a bottle across a room, and they go crazy when it goes into the bottle.
Well, I would.
Well, then you should do it, Paul, if that makes you feel
I can't
good.
be bothered. I can't be bothered. Do what I do and that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyhow...
I could have said that. Do what I do and that's it.
Why?
It felt like it needed an accent.
A
that's
northern
why.
accent.
Yeah,
Paul.
northern accent.
Not a very good northern
Yeah.
accent to boot. So let's move on, shall we, to lovely views. This week our plans were scuppered, weren't they, Paul?
Oh, they were, yes, yesterday.
So today is Friday.
Thursday.
Today is Friday. Yesterday, funnily enough, was Thursday. And we were due to go to the Wetlands Centre, the London Wetlands Centre in Barnes, which is a hop, skip and a jump from here. It's only 7 miles away. Isn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
About 30-minute drive.
Yeah, 30, 40 minutes, depending on traffic. We got stuck. Pardon you. We got stuck in a really bad traffic jam that at one point we hadn't moved for 10 minutes. Paul, people know what a traffic jam is. Do you want me to get you some Lego and you can plot a map?
Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
So we got stuck, and eventually we said, I think it's time to do a U-turn and abandon this because it's taking too long.
A Yui.
A Yui. We did a Yui.
Yeah. Safely.
Jinx.
Honestly, that's 30 years together, that is.
And came back home because frankly we both needed a wee.
Yeah.
So, and you know, London doesn't really have any sort of drive-in toilets, does it? Although it could do. That's quite a good idea, isn't it?
Well,
Drive-through toilets.
most petrol stations have got toilets.
Have they?
Yes.
Have they?
Yes, they've got toilets that can be used by the public.
Well, why didn't you say we could have popped into the Shell garage?
Yeah, but we needed to get our passes for
For
something.
the National Trust, because we decided by this point to go to Osterley. Beautiful Osterley. I'll put a little video here next to me.
Oh, I thought that was quite clever, that.
Yeah, I am quite clever.
I thought that was quite clever.
I can do a bit of editing when I want to. It takes a while to do this, believe it or not. It does, because I've got to move us along gently, and then I've got to slot this one in the right size, and then I have to slide us back once it's finished. And it takes a few little special
Yeah, I can't be bothered
commands
to do things like that.
and things, and you have to think about it, because I do it every week now.
I put words up on my screen to explain
Yeah.
things on the week at the plot.
Yeah, I do that occasionally as well. But yeah, so there you go. So Osterley,
Which
was
has a link to the Channel Islands, doesn't it?
does it? Does it?
The Earl of
Guernsey?
Jersey
Jersey. Oh.
used to be the home of the Earl of Jersey. It's
Did
on
it?
Jersey Road.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure,
Yeah.
Paul?
Yeah.
Alexa, please stop. Please stop. Osterley. just to carry on, was beautiful yesterday.
It was lovely.
Wasn't it beautiful?
A bit crowded.
What?
Well,
No. In the places where the general public go, the hoi polloi, yes, but we go as members into the gardens. Members only. Or for the public, you have to pay. So
it was.
It was like you were moved to tears at one point, weren't you? 'Cause it was so beautiful.
It was. It also
stunning.
sort of brought back memories, and there's sort of things going on. So we'll chat about that a bit later.
It was stunning. Absolutely gorgeous.
What was your favourite bit?
Favourite? I think the meadow. The great meadow.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Because it was just lovely buttercups and daisies. And the weather was gorgeous, although it did get grey towards the end.
Yeah.
But there were blue skies, lovely white clouds. It was just... I mean, it's like being in a sort of dream when you're in a garden like that.
It is, yeah.
Because everything's gorgeous and lovely, and the temperature's nice, you feel comfortable. You're not like, oh, it's a bit cold or it's too hot. You're just kind of right. And it's like I said last week, this time of year is perfect for that. It's perfect for walking because you don't get too cold, too hot, blah, blah, blah.
You need a coat today, though.
It's very breezy.
My favourite bit was the foxglove tree.
The foxglove tree, the purple foxglove tree.
And
There were two.
There were two. And there were some seeds which made their way into my pocket.
Very naughty.
So I'm going to try growing a foxglove tree because I loved it so much.
Well, you need to do proper research, Paul,
I
into
have.
how to do the thing.
I have. Apparently they do not like being buried. They like being on the top of the soil with just a thin scattering of compost on top.
Makes sense.
And they like being in the warmth. So I'm not going to sow them at the moment. I'm going to sow them maybe around sort of June, July time, as long as the temperature is above sort of 10, 12 degrees at night on a regular basis.
Okay, so that's interesting, isn't it? Because if they're dropping their seeds at this time of year, what country are they natives of?
I didn't read that. I think it said I
Because
did read it, but I think it said Asia, but I'm not sure.
If we're warmer than we should be now...
Yeah, no, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
You're right. It's most probably from somewhere else.
I wonder if they seed themselves onto that tree and they pull out the saplings.
Oh, they mow, so they will mow the saplings. Any saplings that do come up will be mown.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it would be interesting, Paul, an interesting experiment that maybe you can video.
Yes, a highly scientific experiment. We always need some of those.
So lovely.
But it was lovely, and there was fantastic shadows. The tree had hardly any leaves on it. All of the flowers were out or fallen on the ground, and it made fantastic shadows on the ground with these little lilac flowers scattered around. I love that.
It was pretty.
It was very pretty.
Very pretty. And of course the gardens themselves weren't particularly busy.
No.
Which was lovely.
And we met some northerners, or a northerner and a adopted northerner, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Where did they live?
Lancaster.
Lancaster, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
We chatted like people do.
Yes, yeah, we did. We were having our tea at a table with a view over in the distance, Osterley House. And they came over, took a photo. You'd been taking photos, and we got chatting, as one does. There we are.
Just being nice to the general public.
Yeah. How was that for you?
Difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
Challenging.
Yeah.
Okay, so, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah. Next.
In the news this week, Paula, there's
Oh.
a new segment that we're doing every week.
So what is it this week?
In the news this week, well, there's some lovely news this week. Did you hear about the pudding?
Yes.
The pudding for the Queen's Jubilee.
I did. And I do think we're going to give it a go.
Are we?
Mm.
Well, you need to buy a Swiss roll. Unless I make one.
You could make one.
With my fat-free sponge.
He made some little buns last week.
I did.
With...
They were fat-free iced buns.
Iced buns.
Not completely fat-free, actually, low fat, because the egg has got
some
fat in it.
Yeah.
But no butter, no fat, no oil. They were lovely. But anyway.
So this is the
and
new...
it's the same kind of sponge that you would use to make a Swiss roll. And the Queen's Jubilee pudding contains a Swiss roll. It is a lemon and amaretti trifle.
Yes.
Isn't it, Paul?
I would adore it. I absolutely know, because I
there's
love
a lot of
lemony
cream,
things.
Paul.
Yeah, I think one would have to cut down on the cream.
I think it's too creamalicious.
I know, but I mean, I suppose it has to be, doesn't it? But I was quite intrigued by the lemon custard as well.
Lemon curd, wasn't it?
No, lemon custard.
So it's got lemon curd and lemon custard.
It's a lemon curd Swiss roll covered in a St. Clementine jelly.
St. Clement's.
St. Clement's jelly with a lemon custard, then cream and bits and bobs on top and chocolate shavings. And amaretti biscuits crushed
chocolate
over.
Shavings?
Yeah, there's some chocolate shavings. Yeah.
Sounds a bit rich to me.
Well, I think it's incredibly rich, but it is a once in the 75-year trifle. That's what it is. And the reason that this or not the reason, but the reason the person came up with this trifle, it was a thing done by Fortnum and Masons, a competition. The reason that the winner came up with the idea was because...
I don't know.
The Queen had lemon posset at her wedding.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, a lemony dish for the
Well, frankly, it's
wedding.
better than coronation chicken, which for me...
Well, we don't have chicken.
Oh.
But coronation chicken, proper coronation chicken, which is made, I think, with red wine, is...
Cold chicken curry.
You just don't like anything. He doesn't like anything that is hot. That is... So if I could have... We had a lovely rice dish, a hot rice dish this week. I could have had that cold the next day.
I could have had that cold. I don't mind a rice salad.
No, but it's not a rice salad, is it? Because it's been cooked.
It would be. It would be if it was cold.
You're not very good
I don't like cold soup.
Cold pizza? You see, I'm quite happy with cold pizza. Yeah.
Oh no,
I mean,
I actually do feel sick now.
What's it? Yeah.
No, I do feel sick.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't like feeling sick.
No, he doesn't like feeling sick. No.
Oh, no.
So yes, there we are.
Let's move on from that. Jubilee trifle, blah, blah,
Jubilee
blah.
trifle.
Too fattening, frankly.
We can't make this right.
Yes. Now, I wanted to bring this up because I think this is interesting. There was a Tory minister this week.
Oh my God,
No.
this annoyed me.
No. This is not things that are annoying me.
Right.
This segment. I want to analyse this actually properly. But there was a Tory minister who basically came out and said the poor can't cook, the poor can't budget, and they don't know how to eat cheaply. Now, I've looked into this, and actually the comments that he made were relating to attempting to educate people, yeah? Now, we've talked about this before, and we've talked about the status or the state of society and how society has led to the point where a lot of people are reliant on pre-packed, pre-made meals.
Mm-hmm.
And also takeaway food, like McDonald's, Chinese, pizza, stuff like that, which costs a fortune compared to home cooking. Now, we've done this in Cheap, Tasty and Filling. I've shown that, you know, there are plenty of lovely meals that can be made relatively cheaply. Relatively. But this minister went so far as to say that cooking could be done for a meal could be done for 30p.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe a meal for somebody with the appetite of a bird, perhaps.
And this is coming from somebody who earns almost 90,000 a year and claimed £220,000 in expenses last year.
But I just want to say that I think partially he's right. Partially. Because I think there is an over-reliance on pre-packed food, you know, what do they call them?
I agree with that.
TV dinners,
Yeah, agree with that.
microwave meals.
Agree with that.
And I think there is also probably quite a large portion of people in the population who haven't had the skills passed on.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know? So I think partially what he's saying is probably right. If you look back to the explosion in the 80s and 90s of, you know, convenience food, or the real explosion, I'm not talking about bird's eye food in the 70s, I'm talking about every single chain supermarket having a massive array of
ready meals.
People began to rely on this, and I think parents began to rely on this. I mean, I remember my parents buying stuff for the freezer and, you know, would say to me, oh, go and get a stir fry out of the freezer. So you kind of grow up having absolutely no idea how to make a stir fry. This is my example.
Okay.
Yeah? Or how to make a lasagna, or how to make cannelloni, or whatever. So I think there is a generation that kind of missed out on what we had, which was people cooking from scratch when we were kids, grandparents,
I
parents,
agree with that.
putting meals together, cheap meals with cheap cuts, cheap vegetables, making things last
But there
a while.
are plenty of people.
I've not finished. And of course, how to use leftovers.
Yeah.
How to make things last.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's like our rice dish that we had the other day. We actually had it for 2 meals, and then the rest of the rice is actually going to go into a tin of mushroom soup.
Yeah.
We'll add it to a tin of mushroom soup, and we'll have that as a lunch. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think there is a gap. There is a massive gap in people's knowledge and education.
Yeah, I think there is, and that is down to mainly Tory cuts over the 70s and 80s and 90s of people not being taught home skills at school and things like that. And there's a wonderful, I mean, Jack Monroe, you know, fabulous person who does a huge amount for frugal and poverty cooking. You know, that is what she does. But coming back to this Tory MP...
Well, I didn't really want to labour on him and give him airtime, particularly.
But his let's take it as 100%. His factual element was like 10%. His ignorance level was about 50%. And his patronising level was about 40%.
Well, we know that's a given, Paul.
I was outraged by what he said and his ignorance.
But that's not the point. The point is, there is a gap in people's knowledge. How does one fill that gap? And actually, I don't agree with you, because actually, in the 70s and 80s, there were plenty of resources, especially on television, for cooking stuff cheaply. Plenty of resources. But people who are in difficult circumstances, who have children, you know, to feed, and maybe don't have an extended family nearby, and this is the other point I wanted to make, you know, it's about the breakdown of the extended family. And this was talked about in sociology in the 70s and 80s.
Yep.
How people moved away to cheaper housing in new towns, for example, away from their parents. Communication in those days wasn't great, so not everybody had a telephone. Making a telephone call was expensive, so people no longer had the conversations with their elders about how to do their best in terms of making a cheap meal. The only things they had to rely on were people like, for example, Delia Smith, who did stuff on student food and cheap food.
And cooking for one.
Cooking for one. But of course, buying a book about that wouldn't have been an option because books were too expensive.
People. Yeah.
So the only source was TV. There was no internet. You had CFAX if you had a TV that could receive it. So people were quite isolated, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think people would just reach for the nearest, cheapest thing, which very often would be a packet of something, a packet soup, cheap bread, and cheap spreads.
Which is what they're doing now.
You know? So there needs to be, the government needs to take responsibility for it and start an education programme which is widespread, that reaches absolutely as many people as possible on how to cook, basically from scratch, and how to shop cheaply, you know? The reliance on food banks is going up massively.
Yeah, and you have Tory ministers smiling at the opening of a new food bank. I mean, how ridiculous is that?
Let's be positive. That's a very negative point of view.
Well, it's true.
But it's
true. You can't celebrate.
There's no point in
Right, I'm shutting
that.
up.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. So that's my political rant for this week. How can we improve education? Maybe
get rid of the Tories.
Maybe I need to do a new series on how to cook from scratch. And start with toast and boiling an egg and making a cup of tea. Because that's how we started when we did school, O-level. You had to show that. What? Don't be ridiculous,
I'm not
Paul.
saying anymore.
Don't be silly. Thank you, Paul.
Next
is... It's National Vegetarian Week next week.
It is indeed. Yes, I did a poster for Earth's Sake for that earlier this week, so that went off to Vanessa. I was supposed to see Vanessa this week, but it didn't happen. So I did the poster, and what are we going to be doing? Are we going to be doing anything for
I don't know. I haven't planned anything. Because I've had my mind on other things, like jobs that need to be done, like fixing the windscreen wiper on the car, cutting down the buddleia, which took a long time yesterday afternoon.
Did you cut up the bits small before you put them in the bin?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to focus on the things that are important to me at the moment, rather than what I can do on YouTube.
We've got a lot of things sort of going on and taking up sort of mind time at the moment. Yeah, I did my back in earlier in the week, and that's sort of thrown a few things this week. But hey ho, there we are.
This is life, you know. I haven't got time to be spending.
Yeah, you said that.
Time making loads of videos. I haven't got time to
at the moment.
At the moment.
Yes, yes. So we'll mostly be highlighting some of the dishes of the past.
I'll be throwing
on Planet Vegetaria.
I'll be throwing back to YouTube stuff. I'll be reminding you that we've done loads of vegetarian recipes.
Absolutely.
Loads of cookery.
Absolutely.
Loads of cookery videos that show you the skills required to cook certain dishes. You know, these are not just throw it together videos. We do show you the methods and the skills. So yeah, just go and look, okay? Vegetarian cookery. Blah, 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 blah.
It's also next week the Big Plastic Count. So this is in the UK, and it's people being asked to count how much plastic they actually throw away and get through in a week. And it's not a how little can you throw away. It's really to get a measure on how much plastic is being disposed of on a weekly basis. So if you use lots and lots and lots of plastic and get rid of lots and lots and lots of plastic, on food packaging and that type of thing, do take part, because that information is just as valid as somebody who might just throw away one bit of plastic a week, because it's a way of getting a handle on exactly how big the plastic problem is in the UK. So
I would imagine it's pretty big, because the amount of plastic we have to throw away that is not recyclable is shocking.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul, thank you. It's time for my new segment.
What?
My new segment. Well, it's a few weeks old now, isn't it?
So it's semi-new.
Hold on. Things that are annoying me this week.
That was almost religious.
It's a little bit strained because I haven't warmed up or opened my voice. The first thing that's really annoying me, pandas.
You're not back on pandas.
I saw this story about pandas.
Oh, God.
It's gone windy. I saw this story about pandas. Do you know how much money it costs to keep pandas, and how much money it costs to put them on loan to zoos?
About 2.5 million a year per panda.
It's into billions.
Well, there we are. I don't see how it's into billions.
Over time it is.
Well, over time, the amount of
Why?
ants that get bought.
You know what the article
billions.
said?
What did the article say, Richard?
And blah, 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 and their fascination with these cute, cuddly creatures. Yeah?
Well, they're cute. I'm not sure they're cuddly. They
Now-
can be quite vicious.
That seemed to be, apart from bringing in tourism, that seemed to be the only redeeming feature of this animal. And I thought to myself, what value, apart from tourism and people going, look at the cute panda. What value does that animal have in the world? It should have gone extinct a long time ago because it can't maintain its habitat, because it has to eat one type of food.
Well, it can't maintain its habitat because humans have cut the habitat down.
Yeah.
It can maintain its habitat because it did over millennia. But actually, it's human intervention that has reduced
But we're an animal on the planet as well.
Yeah, I know. But
You know?
maybe it'd be better if we went extinct. I think that would be a good
totally
idea.
different thing. But these animals are completely pointless.
But they're cute.
They can only eat one type of food.
But they're cute.
So the fact that they haven't got extinct is surprising. And the fact that they cost so much money to maintain is ridiculous.
But they're cute.
I don't care.
He's on a panda downer.
Spend the money on something more useful.
Panda downer day.
On saving something that actually has worth, frankly. And World Wildlife Fund or whatever, change your logo. Stupid pandas.
It's
They annoy
Worldwide
me.
Fund for Wildlife, I think.
It's got a panda. Cut the panda out.
Stab the panda.
No, don't stab the panda.
Oh,
don't
stab
be cruel
the
to the panda.
No, don't be cruel. Because it's cute.
Well, no, I don't advocate cruelty in any way, shape or form,
No,
but
he doesn't.
they're just useless creatures. Useless. Apologies to any panda lovers. And the other thing that's annoying me this week is Eurovision. Oh, God, here we go again.
Eurovision. I haven't seen anything
Eurovision.
about Eurovision.
Oh, God. It's becoming too big. And I've said this before. It's far too sophisticated now. Yeah? And there's all these rounds. There never used to be that.
There did.
No, there used to be like the choosing of them, but you would just see like a little bit. It would be on like TV, and they'd
No,
do
it's because
a song for Europe, and they'd choose the song, and you'd vote.
Yeah, but it's because there's so many countries that participate now.
And then you'd watch the Eurovision Song Contest, and you'd all have a good old laugh at those foreign languages and the songs you just simply couldn't understand, and people in their national costumes. Now, it's like this big, like, concert thing with all these, like, it's all modern. I don't like it. I don't want it. I'm never going to watch it again. It's really annoying me.
I heard that Canada has Canada has proposed that it should be. I mean, let's face it. If Australia is in,
this is another annoying thing.
Why
I
isn't
thought
Canada?
this was Europe. I thought it was Europe. Now anybody's joining in. Just call it. Don't call it Eurovision. Call it World Vision Song Contest.
I think that's already something else, though.
Well, just intensely annoying. Can't bear it, can't stand it, never going to watch it.
Puppet on the String, congratulations.
Yeah, that was all lovely then. It was lovely in those days.
Was it Do the Right Thing? Make your mind up. Making your mind up.
Box Fizz.
Did Downtown get there?
I don't know. Stop now, Paul.
Lulu did something, didn't she?
Lulu did...
I can't remember.
Bing Bing Along, Bang Bang
And
Bang.
then, was it Katrina and the Waves or someone?
Yeah, they did one.
They did something, yeah.
But Boom Banga Bang, was it?
Boom Banga Bang, that was
that
it.
Lulu?
Yeah,
Lulu,
that was it.
Little Lulu. So anyway, move on. That's it. That's things that are annoying me this week.
I'm reading, when I do look at the news, which is not regularly, I hear about a new pop person and I have absolutely no idea.
Well, there's a
who
new
they
Doctor
are.
Who now.
Yeah, with somebody that I've never ever seen
I can't remember
in anything, which is fine, which is absolutely fine.
I don't know who it is. They've
but
left
loads
me
of people
behind.
do.
They've left me behind now.
Yeah. I think we've been left behind on Doctor Who for a long time.
Couldn't stand that Jodie Whittaker.
I did hear that Tom Baker's
like
Doctor Who are being repeated on Forces TV.
You see the old... everything's just getting too big and sophisticated now.
I think so.
I yearn for a simpler time. Move on, Paul. So what have we watched on television this week, Paul?
Well, talking about a simpler time, we watched Studio Ghibli, is it?
Yeah.
Is that right? Studio Ghibli, not Ghibli. Studio Ghibli's Castle in the Air, which I just thought was lovely
It was
and charming.
sweet. It was too long.
It was long. They do.
Too long. I don't know how children are expected to watch that.
Well, I think they're sort of family thing, and they watch them in chunks. But I did.
Chunks?
Yeah,
Who watches the film in chunks?
We do.
Oh,
Well, we watched this one.
we did watch
didn't
that
we?
one, yeah, because I fell asleep
He
because
fell
it was
asleep.
too long.
Yeah, but I thought it was. I thought it was lovely. I do like Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
And
anyway, and we also watched the new series of Bosch.
Legacy.
Bosch Legacy. I don't understand why it's on Amazon and then it plays through another app. So due to technical issues, we just had to stop. And Paul made a coffee. Anyway, I was saying about that silly Freebie TV thing.
Yeah,
why
you were.
It's got it plays through Amazon, but it's got a bloody logo on the bottom.
Well, Amazon bought IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, many years ago, and from it created IMDb TV, which has been streaming for a while, and it's now got adverts, and they're basically funding an awful lot of things through adverts, like Bosch Legacy. But the funny thing was, we had no adverts whatsoever in the one that we saw. The sort of segment finished, it went black for about a second where an advert should have been, and then it just carried on. So
yeah, but it's not that I'm bothered with. It's the big
the
logo
big, yeah, I mean
at the bottom. I don't want to sit being distracted by that all the way through one of our favourite shows.
Yes,
Anyway.
it is rather big and rather
Obtrusive.
in the
That's
bottom
word.
right-hand corner. I think one gets used to the sort of smaller
little ones.
logos in the top left corner, but this one is taking up about...
Yeah,
I
too
don't
much
know,
space. I've said
yeah.
that, blah, blah, blah. You also watched No Time to Die, the
I
James
did.
Bond film. He dies in the end.
Yeah. I watched it on my own because Richard's not a fan of James Bond.
Pointless.
I really like James Bond films, and I will usually watch them if they're on.
Alone.
I'll watch them alone. When Richard falls asleep at 8 o'clock in the evening, I usually watch something that I think he won't like, or we've seen before. So anyway, No Time to Die, yeah. It was okay.
You could have spent that time doing something else.
I could have spent that time doing something else. I could have spent that time like you, just snoring on
No
the
time
sofa.
to watch James Bond.
Yeah.
Yes, basically.
And
the theme tune, I mean...
Oh, the theme tune
really,
was
give me a
terrible.
break. These
Terrible.
I tell you, that's another thing that's annoying me this week, actually. It's all these new voices.
Oh, God, yeah.
And here are singing like that and trying to sound like Björk. Aren't they? It was Björk that started that trend off.
Yeah.
But that's her voice.
Yeah.
She sings like she speaks.
I think there's so
that's
many.
That's the mark of a true voice. A true voice. When they sing like they speak. You know? It has the same tone. It's somebody being genuine. All these men putting these high voices on. I don't get it.
Well, it's just copying, isn't it? And it's the trend, and it's sort of...
I don't like it.
All the music executives saying, okay, let's do this.
Sound like this.
Because this is what's in at the moment.
This is what sells. It's all about money and greed. Yes, it is. Yeah, of course it is.
I mean, that's another thing. I mean, you know, our monetary system does not work anymore. But we won't go into that. There we are. Yeah. But No Time to Die. I mean, when Louis Armstrong came on, you know, started singing You Got All the Time in the World, which came in just before the end, and then it was the out piece as well. You know, you thought, oh, yeah, I remember now when James Bond theme tunes actually were good, you know, because the last load have just been dire.
Oh, awful.
I mean,
and Adele, I mean, really,
God, I just don't get Adele.
Bear Adele. People go on about her as though she's absolutely amazing. Her voice just sounds like everybody else to me. And the song matter, well, I'm sorry. There's only so many break-up songs you can listen to, really.
Oh, is that all it is?
That's all she sings about.
Oh, right.
Really? And that Skyfall was dire.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah.
No, that was...
It was dire.
But the one before that, the guy where he sort of said, oh, I wrote it in 10 minutes. Yeah,
You
felt
can
like
tell.
it.
Oh,
And I don't,
oh, yeah,
you know,
it was
it's.
awful.
I'm sure Barbara Broccoli, she must be able to go, no, this is crap. You know, I mean, it's her decision at the end of the day. She's the producer, and or do they just? Oh, I don't know.
I think she gets railroaded
I
by
think she
the rest of
definitely
the
does, yeah.
executives.
And they get told, oh, you're out of touch. You know, we need this to bring in a younger audience.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
However, you know, I mean, apart from No Time to Die, which of course was delayed for 2 years because of the pandemic, the more recent Bond movies have been record breaking in terms of making profit and money.
Was No Time to Die the most recent one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It shows how much I know. Let's move on. Parks and Recreation, we finished, although I missed the end of the last episode because I fell asleep. What was that?
Me going.
Oh, I thought it was a bleep. Yeah.
There's a really bizarre Johnny Karate episode, which obviously is just for fun, but it really does segue away from the whole storyline. But I think the finale, the series finale, is a lovely episode. Yeah. Which you slept through.
So we're kind of going into a bit of a dry time television-wise, aren't we? It's like, what can we rewatch?
Yeah.
Because
or new things. Well, we watched The IRA last week and we really enjoyed that.
That was good.
I mean, it amazes me how ITV can bang out these good crime dramas and the BBC really can't. Oh, it's an ambulance.
Oh, it's...
For a neighbour.
Yeah, it's our neighbour.
Anyway, bananas. That's what I say.
Bananas.
Yeah.
That's the end of the show now. We've said all we have to say. We've come in and seen you and been pleasant enough.
And now you're going to finish this segment and be unpleasant for another 7 days, 23 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. We've got to get on with our day. We've got things to do, shit to do.
Oh, just a quick mention about Mum, because there are other things going on. Mum moved into a care home for 2 weeks respite, and it looks as though she's going to be remaining in that care home. So we're now looking at her apartment and times, and that sort of another journey is beginning, is what I'm sort of saying. So Mum has been taken out, or they have some people who I think volunteer and take people out, and has had rather a nice number of visits out so far. As Mum says, it's not the best place in the world, but it's not the worst place in the world. And Mum always hoped to pass away in her own bed at home. But it looks as though that's not going to happen. So, but she's warm, and the people are absolutely lovely. She says they can't do enough. Or is that right? Is that the phrase? Yeah. So, yeah, she's okay.
She's safe. She's being looked after. She's in a place where she can't easily fall over and hurt herself and be there for 12 hours before being rescued.
Yeah, which did happen, a year or so ago.
She's good.
Yeah.
And she's enjoying her trips. She's enjoying the bingo.
Yeah. She won a bingo
and
the other
she's
day.
enjoying cake and tea being brought to her on a regular basis. So, what's not to like, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it for this week's Sunday Chat.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, and we're saying goodbye.
We are going to say goodbye. I'm going to have my coffee now. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Is that a Jubilee wave?
Goodbye.
No, it's like that, isn't it?
It's minimal.